Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Let's Design episode. Today I've got a Sandwing-Rainwing hybrid named Prickly Pear. Just a reminder, this character is available in an auction over on my DeviantArt until 12 p.m. Central Time tomorrow, so if you're interested in her, go check out that link in the description. Her mother was a sandwing named Dusk, and her father was a rainwing named Apricot, and the two of them met at Jade Mountain Academy about a decade after the school was founded. Prickles, who just celebrated her 8th hatching day, lives with her parents in Possibility. The town has grown into a thriving city, especially with the dawn of healthy intertribe relations during the last 2 decades. Prickly Pear is a fun-loving dragon. She turned down her parents' offer of enrollment at Jade Academy, happy to spend her days wandering the city looking for interesting dragons and places. She's carefree, one of many in her generation to never experience the pain of the Sandwing War of Succession. For Prickles, the world has always been sunny, and she's happy to enjoy herself. Sometimes her parents would describe her as a little too carefree. Even though she's an adult now, Prickles doesn't seem interested in helping around their small plant shop or finding a job anywhere else. In fact, she doesn't seem to want to take on any responsibilities at all. Prickly Pear would much rather be at a party, dancing with her friends, or trying on new scarves in the market, or meeting all the interesting new dragons constantly coming in and out of the city. While her total lack of ambition can be a source of anxiety for Dusk and Apricot, Prickly Pear fits right in with many of the younger dragons of Possibility. They've always known a world of prosperity and peace, and life seems too good for them to worry about the future. Her friends would describe her as a great dragon to invite to your party, an expert on jewelry with a keen eye for fashion trends, and an all-round good time. Prickles herself is quite happy floating from amusement to amusement without bothering to worry about anything at all. She's rather tall for her age and rather spinier than most rainwings or sandwings. The scales running down her neck, tail, and legs are ridged rows of hard, sharp points, not unlike the points of one of the many aloe plants her parents sell in their shop. Even her soft sandwing frill is slightly tougher along its edges, making it stick out and curl a little. However, despite her height and prickly edges, which earned her her nickname Prickles, she's actually pretty tactile. One of Prickly Pear's favorite ways to greet a friend is by sneaking up on them from behind and springing onto their back to give them a big pointy hug. Although, since she tends to be a little clumsy, sometimes she trips both herself and her target, meaning that more than once she's just straight up tackled someone instead of saying hi like a normal, sane dragon. Prickly Pear's design kind of came to me all at once a couple of weeks ago. It's honestly probably the most random way I've ever come on a design idea. I make friendship bracelets a lot because they help me focus during lectures or movies, and they're very easy and pretty, so I like fiddling around with them. But I found this neat pattern someone made for like a 3D box pattern, kind of based off a chevron pattern, and they did one with these same minty blue-green colors that just looked so pretty. And I thought, that looks like a succulent leaf, like the pattern of it. And then I thought it would be a really cute design idea for a sandwing hybrid. I debated doing like a sand silk or a sand sea, and I even toyed with the idea of a sand ice hybrid, but sand rain ended up working out the best for me. And what's funny, too, is I've actually been painting cacti in my spare time anyways, doing all these little watercolor pieces on Sundays when I'm attempting to relax. So I've been doing a lot of cactus and succulent themed work lately. Anyhow, the design itself turned out so pretty and colorful. I feel like she would be a really strange dragon to run into, even if hybrids are becoming more of a regular occurrence. Because she really looks like a sandwing, shape-wise, so just seeing her silhouette you might assume she's a sandwing. But then you get the colors and it's like, wow, very different from a sandwing. Especially since she's kinda tall, that definitely adds to her shock factor. Yeah, I have thoughts about this design, but it's mostly like incoherent rambling, I'll be honest. One thing I do love about this design, though, are the scales on her neck, tail, and legs. I did normal sandwing scales with a bit of an extra curve to them, and then I filled in that little color gradient under each scale by hand. Yes, it was a little tedious, but the extra attention really paid off. There's kind of a fine line between too much detail and just enough to make a design really visually stunning, where you want to be detailed without overcrowding your design. And of course, I added the little white spines on the tips of every scale. Those are actually spines, little tiny ones, because remember, she's kind of spiny herself. Anyways, back to my backstory. I do think Prickly Pear would be a bit of a prankster. She likes to laugh, and she tends to be a little blind to the consequences of her actions sometimes. That's a bit of a recurring flaw for her, honestly. She's a little too happy-go-lucky. It isn't that she doesn't care about other dragons, just that often she forgets to consider them at all during her day-to-day life. Her parents have joked about sending her to join the Sandwing army to teach her responsibility. At least, Prickles thought they were joking. The two of them, not so much. I don't have a whole plot for Prickly Pear, though I do kind of have an idea of what happens next. She would have some kind of adventure, forcing her to grow up pretty fast and get some real-world experience. Something like being kidnapped or someone stealing something valuable from her parents. I think it would be a cute little adventure story to see Prickly Pear fumble her way around Pyria, learning the ropes. She would have to learn to fight, of course, but also how to think like her enemies so she can keep up with them, how to convince other dragons to help her, how to think on her talons to get out of sticky situations. She's already a natural at talking to dragons, though, so at least there's one skill she already has. And that's Prickly Pear. She means well, she's kind of clumsy, and she needs to stop buying overpriced scarves in the possibility market. I've got her up for auction over on my DA, so you can check out the description if you want to go see that. Also in the description are links to my various socials, including Patreon and Redbubble, where you can support me if you feel so inclined. Also, a link to my super cool store where you can buy Wings of Fire playing cards, bookmarks, custom sticky notes, and all kinds of neat stuff. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little design video, and please have a blessed day.